The incredible age of Indian civilization, new evidence arises from the one intact source of Indian records so far overlooked. The fact that the word may be mightier than rock.
Countless generations upon generations have passed down the poem for many ages before it was written down. The verse is remembered with uncanny precision through intricate exercise. As these two stop in mid-phrase, the next two must carry it on, and so endlessly, for precise memorization. The words are sung on rhyme and rhythm.
Examples of these mnemonic devices, these memory learning devices, are everywhere. But built into the Sanskrit language of the Vedas themselves is a meter, a rhythm so precise that you know exactly if you've made a mistake or not.
Oral tradition, the poets themselves, may have carved a monument that withstands the ages better than rock. It is lost when it's written down, for it goes by the ear, by the rhythm of the heart. The sound silences the mind, it stills all thought. But as the book says, make one mistake. That's when the snake strikes, when the ear hears. Oral tradition needed no written records. If it could be remembered faultlessly for 1,000 years, why not for thousands or more?
Within the Vedas and the Mahabharata, scholars have now found surprising corroboration for the extremely ancient date at which these texts were composed.
The evidence is found in how Vedas and Mahabharata make mention of the stars and the skies.
It so turns out that the ritual of the Vedic people expressed astronomical knowledge. Once you analyze this astronomical knowledge, you realize that there was a very vibrant and acute tradition of observation of the skies.
Throughout millennia, ancient India was keenly aware of an astronomical phenomenon called precession. Most of us now are not familiar with.
Precession's not so difficult to explain, however. You remember this, the spinning top. Imagine this is the Earth, spins on its axis, gives us the night and the day. But as it does, there's this counter-rotation, a wobble.
One wobble of the axis takes more than 26,000 years to go round. Standing on Earth, it makes the stars and constellations seem to travel through the skies. Appearing from behind the rising sun, they change in periods of little over 2,000 years. We know them as Pisces, Aries, Taurus.
The computer shows us the skies of the past,
with mention of positions of planets, constellations and conjunctions. Scientists can now precisely calculate when they were described.
We have been able to establish that the astronomical references that exist in the Vedas, and there are a variety of these references talk about periods of time which go to the 2nd millennium BC, the 3rd millennium BC, 4th millennium BC, and even earlier.
Benares, to Hindus the most ancient city in the world, where on the banks of the holy Ganga river, the dead are cremated in the old way, and little lights are lit for the souls. If the Mahabharata has one message to deliver, it is that man should most concern himself with the quest for inner peace and real happiness, which do not lie here in this world.
It's through understanding this that one grasps the essence of Indian thought. The indifference to material possessions evinced by so many here
and deemed almost a crime in the West, stems from the knowledge that whatever one gains in this world is lost the moment the body burns to ash, melts, and vanishes into air.
So why concern oneself too much with ephemeral things? It may be a recipe for poverty, yet it is also one for the kind of riches you can take with you.
It is there also where lies the greatness of the Mahabharata.
He showed him his true battlefield, where each man must fight alone. He must learn to see with the same eye a mound of earth and a heap of gold, a cow and a sage. There's another intelligence beyond the mind.
Spiritual science, it seems, the precise technique of self-realization and liberation, has been a part of Indian society from the very start. Just as those new soldiers and civil servants of empire were told, anyone who understands this understands everything about India, and those who fail to understand it will never understand anything about her.